Right, let's make this big. There we go. So these are from, you probably know her, she's retired now, but Julia Crompton has a forest school. I think some of you probably been at Fleetwood Charity School, and a huge outdoor area, but she had a small one just outside her room. So I thought it was good to just share some photographs with you of the sorts of things that she did for maths outdoors. So everything she's either made or begged, borrowed and stolen from somewhere. So these are like an abacus she's made from log slices. We just drilled a hole in, tied them to the fence. They are really simple ideas. Some of those balls with holes in it always reminds me of my school days, those. Yeah, again, for counting, like an abacus on the fence. As you can see, she's got the most amazing view. So this clock she made from a log slice, which they use for, what time is it, Mr. Wolf, and lots of other things. But I really like that really simple idea. This is beating time. The children were playing to collaboratively together outside, and they decided to start banging on the table with the spoons, but then they were counting and they were taking it in turns to count the beats. So you can, all these things, it's a mud kitchen, but it moved on to something else. This is a pancake race on Pancake Day. She's on a school site, so that's why the children in school uniforms. They might even be older children. This was how many spoons. So this is, she's got sand in here at the minute. So yeah, the little boy was measuring his spoonfuls from one to the other. Again, that's something she made. So this is down in the forest area where she's got children making shapes with sticks. And another one with bits found on the forest floor. And this is ordering sticks by size. So this is what we were just talking about, isn't it? That we don't need anything fancy. We just need to use what we actually have. There's another one. Den building. I mean, that's just amazing, den building outside. I think the mathematical learning involved in building a den is massive. So if we can have some den building resources for the children. She's obviously got the natural stuff. She's got the branches and everything that the children are very used to using, but we can still do something on a similar scale. Weighing. So the weighing mud down in the forest. This made me smile. So they were making a rope swing. So they spent ages problem solving and trying to get it to work. They couldn't. It kept collapsing and it wasn't tight enough. So they spent ages and ages trying to work it out. And with the adult involvement, they managed to get it to work. Obviously, these children are very used to using ropes and being in risky play. So yeah, this would need to be risk assessed in some settings. They very much like to make birds' nests. So they use what's in the environment and make the nests. So this is great for area. Gardening is a brilliant learning resource for maths. So here they are pulling up the radish, because we all know that radish grow like mad, don't they? So it's a really good thing to plant. Because they grow very quickly and very easily. And then it's great looking at them when they've grown, so you can have long ones and fat ones and little tiny things. Yeah, radish are brilliant. This was like a giant's causeway that she made, so different sizes of logs and different heights, and it was brilliant for physical development, but it was great for that positional language as well. This was them making a seesaw. from a crate and a branch. Yeah, they spent ages and ages working out how to get it to balance, but they managed it in the end. Pattern making. This was during the autumn, obviously. Mathematical mark making outdoors. So she does have this. The one on the left is the it's just a whiteboard that she's had put up in the area that was out immediately outside her room. But the other one, the children are mark making with charcoal that she's actually made on the fire. Charcoal works brilliantly, and it's so easy to do. So easy to do. So they were just, I thought I'd just share with you a few ideas of the sorts of things that she did. And I'm sure you do lots more as well. Need to find my notes. Okay, so let's talk is massive. We need to talk, use mathematical talk and mathematical vocabulary throughout the time that we're engaging with the children outside. So it's crucial in that process of learning and making sense of the things that we've learned. So if your outdoor environment is providing lots of possibilities to explore a range of mathematical concepts, then adults need to be engaging in this process, using that vocabulary and that talk to support that challenge and to extend the learning. So the size and scale of the outdoor resources means that adults can be a physical help to the children. So they can help them lift and carry containers and objects. They can reach up high and hold a structure to steady it whilst they get another crate or they need to get some tarpaulin. And being physically involved in this way allows us to be close to the action, doesn't it? We can support the children and extend their language, vocabulary and thinking. So really, really important, that role of the adult. We need to be really clear that what we are doing is teaching. This doesn't replace teaching in other contexts. So the effective teaching of maths will involve direct instruction. So in different forms, such as when you're inside in a group or in a group outside, but too great an emphasis on this direct instruction without thinking about how the children learn and making it more meaningful is a bit pointless. So we need to make sure that how we interact with our children is meaningful. And if we're going to get that, what we call sticky learning, it seems to be the in phrase at the minute, then we need to change that mindset with our staff, and we need to make sure that it's embedded in our children's long-term memory. So it's about repeating and rehearsing and doing the same thing. So we really need to value that adult engagement and those child initiated activities and give it time to happen within the time that we spend outside. So a spider's web on a fence, leaves on the ground in autumn, or long shadows across the outdoor area in the winter months all provide simple but powerful opportunities for that mathematical thinking and conversation. These opportunities are very often missed. However, if adults are restricted by pressures of routines, this doesn't help. So again, thinking about our routines, how many times we stop and start, giving children that time to really get involved in their play. So how do we do this? So we need to plan for those mathematical experiences. And we need to engage in that discussion with the children. I think this is huge with some of our practitioners. We really need to get them to engage and be a part of the discussions. We need to remember the ages and stages of our children. So, you know, it's not a one size fits all, and we have a whole range of children in our settings these days. And so the ages and stages can be quite complex. So we need to really take that into account and make sure that we're catering for all children. We need to make sure that children have that independent access to the resources, which I said right at the beginning. So if you've got a storage shed that allows children to independently access some resources, that would be great. We need to use that relevant mathematical language. I'm sure Sarah's talked about that in the previous ones. Again, we've said that time to explore, allow children to create simple patterns and number concepts. We need to involve our children in that decision making. We need to encourage our children to problem solve and to try out new things. I think that's getting harder, if I'm being honest. Encouraging things to try it and have a go and keep going, those characteristics of learning. Our practitioners need to model those techniques and strategies. And then obviously we want to praise the children's capabilities and then challenge them to take the next step. Okay, so that's a lot of information. So I would urge you to do a mathematical audit outdoors. There are lots available online that you can use to just have a rethink about your outdoor space and whether you need to add anything else or whether you don't. But it's good to do this as a team. So think about what your setting are doing well for maths outdoors and what needs further development. And when you're looking at what improvements have been made, look at the impact that it's had on your children's mathematical understanding. So involve the children, as we've said. Think about how you're going to document it. Could it be a floor book? Could it just be photographic evidence? It doesn't really matter. This is just a simple role of the adult outdoors, which I think we've actually spoken about. So that engagement and interaction, that stimulating environment, we need to make sure that we plan for outdoors, because that's another thing that I feel like we're not quite there with again. So make sure outdoor learning is planned for as equally as indoors. Yeah. So these are something I want to leave you with, some questions to maybe ask your practitioners. So are your children engaging in mathematical concepts on a large scale? Is there a high degree of problem solving and collaborative maths? And do adults get involved and show the value of maths in those physical, meaningful contexts? And does the way that you store your outdoor resources prompt that mathematical discussion and embed the understanding? So I think those are really good questions to ask yourself when you're thinking about your audit. You know, do we do these things? Problem solving is massive, and we really need to encourage our children to do that. I put this in because I'm also doing this same thing tomorrow, but it's a grant that I saw only the other day, and it says it's for schools, but it also says it's for PTAs and non-profit making. So it might not be for you, which is really awful, isn't it? But it might be worth looking at it. So it's to support education, environment, children, disabled and youth activities, and it's from the Ford Britain Trust, which I've never heard of, but I've looked it up and it is kosher, so it might be worth having a look at it if you're able. So these are the two books that Juliet Robertson has written. The Messy Maths is definitely an EYFS book. The Dirty Teaching is it includes EYFS, but it's for older children as well. But they're both absolutely brilliant. I can't recommend them enough. These are another couple that's been around for a few years. Sometimes your practitioners just need a little bit of an idea, and we don't always like to promote Pinterest and go on there, get an idea. We need to think about what the children are learning. So yeah, getting ideas from other places. And these are the websites. So the Creative Style Learning is the Juliet Robertson one, and the earlymaths.org, which I'm sure Sarah's talked about and I did last time, is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the rest of them, yeah, they're all really good in their own way. The Enrich and the NCETM are quite theoretical, but they're good. there's definitely, they're all good in their own way. So that is the last of the training sessions for you. So your feedback really matters to us. So if you'd like to send us some feedback on the training, that would be really good. So that is the QR code that you can use to get onto the evaluation. And that is it. So I'll stop recording.